I'm going to share 5 human skills that AI can't touch, that will not replace. In fact, done right, it will supercharge them. If you nail these, you'll be unstoppable in business, leadership, and life. AI isn't here to replace you. Well, I guess it could if you ignore it. It just might. Listen, everyone's worried about what AI could take away from them. But we should be worrying about gaining the skills that'll show us how to multiply who we are, to kind of give us back our humanness, to amplify what makes us human. I mean, the fact is, AI can't replace the core human skills that drive success. But if you don't master them, AI can become a crutch instead of a multiplier. In this video, I'm going to share 5 human skills that AI will never replace. But in fact, you can use AI to supercharge them. And then these skills are so much easier to master. If you nail these, you become unstoppable in business, in leadership, and in life. So let's get to these 5. Number 1 is resilience. Listen, AI can replace the mundane. It can replace the repetitive. It can do so many things for you in the invisible. It can even remove some friction, but it can't handle setbacks, can't handle rejections or failure. Only you can. It's your ability to bounce back that makes us who we are, that determines how much success we can achieve. And it also determines how we use AI as a crutch or an amplifier. Listen, again, AI can make things go faster, but you have to have the grit when things break. You have to persist until you succeed, even when there's no signs. You have to jump out of the plane and grow wings on the way down. That's still on us. So if you can use AI to do the repetitive work in your life, how do you work on having a deeper purpose? You know, I heard my buddy Trent Shelton say once, if your purpose is deep enough, then nothing else can affect you. Meaning, if your purpose is big enough, then there is no imposter syndrome. If your purpose is big enough, then you find the time. If your purpose is big enough, if your why is big enough, then you're not afraid because your passion, your purpose, and your why is bigger than the fear that holds you back. That's on you. So think if AI could take away some of the other things so you can work on more depth. When you can work on a deeper level why that evokes emotion, and you can work on the things that are needed to keep moving forward, to be resilient, to not stop, even when things go wrong or people say no. Number 2, resourcefulness. Listen, AI gives you access to unlimited ideas, but resourcefulness is knowing how to ask the right questions and apply the answers creatively. Listen, AI is like having the world's biggest toolbox. It's full of resources, but we have to be resourceful. We have to find a way to execute. We have to find the way to move the needle. Think about this. If you could leave your children resources, a whole bunch of money, or you could leave them massively resourceful, what would you choose? Of course, you would choose resourcefulness. Why do people who hit lotto go broke? Because they have resources, they don't have resourcefulness. Why do most trust fund children end up unhappy? Because they have resources, but they were never taught resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is what moves you forward. As AI evolves, as a new tool comes out every week, as overwhelm comes, you could sit on your hands and hope somebody fix it because there's resources everywhere, or you could be resourceful and test things out one step at a time. You could find a new mindset around AI that allows you not to be overwhelmed, to see how you can use it in a tactical way, in a strategic way, one step at a time. That's resourcefulness, and that's a human trait that no one could ever replace, but it could be amplified. Number 3, leadership. That's leadership of ourselves or others. Listen, AI can manage projects. It could be a project manager, but it can't inspire people. Leadership is still about vision. It's about trust. It's about decisions. It's about the next one, which we'll talk about. It's about the human condition. Use AI to be clear. Use AI for work schedules. Use AI for repetitiveness, but you lead with presence. You lead by example. AI won't rally your team at 8 p.m. through a tough day or through the startup or innovating through a new phase of industry in life. That is on you. So if you can use AI to take some of these other things off your plate, like I've been talking about, then you should spend the time understanding humans better. People ask me at this phase of my life, what is leadership? At 56 years old and have employees since I was 17, When I started my first firewood cutting business, it's changed a lot through the decades. At this phase of my life, being a leader is like being a kindergarten teacher. You want to meet each of the people on your team where they are. Like in kindergarten, you might have a student that is physically abused at home, one that's an extrovert, one that's an introvert, super shy, one that's really smart and gets it, one that's struggling and learning is hard and has dyslexia. If you meet each of those kids where they are, you can help them thrive and prosper. That's a human condition that no one can ever take away from you. And those that master that and meet leaders meeting other leaders, or leaders meeting their team or their family, or even the person in the mirror, when you meet them where they are, when you enter conversations already going on in their mind, when you understand their desires, their dreams, their goals, and you understand their fears, that's leadership. And people are going to need it and want it more than ever in a world where we're connected to so much information and so much capabilities and so much growth. We're going to need leaders. And that's a skill you're going to want to polish. Number 4, no one will ever take away your curiosity. Oh, that's such a human trait. Intellectual curiosity or curiosity. Listen, AI rewards the curious. So it is the compounder for the curious. It's the compounder for intellectual curiosity, because those who ask better questions get better answers. Curiosity plus AI is the new competitive advantage. AI doesn't replace it, it multiplies it. So how curious are you? Now, with AI, sometimes we're so curious we look at every tool and we're seeing next tool after next tool after next tool. I'd say go upstream a little bit. Be curious and have intellectual curiosity around this, the people doing it the best in the world. Who is having massive success in AI? And what kind of mindset do they have around AI? How do they look at it? They look at through the lens of an amplifier. Do they look through a lens of how it can accelerate, how it can be your co-pilot, how it can be your partner? Be curious on how they think about AI, number 1. Number 2, what kind of AI strategy do they have? How do they use practical application, not trying and hustling a million different tools? How do they analyze? How do they decide what part of their industry should have AI? Should we use it to save money? Should we use it to get rid of the repetitive work? Should we do it to get rid of some constraints we have? Right? How do you have an AI strategy? Be curious about that. Then you could take curiosity and intellectual curiosity on the simple tools you could apply one at a time. You see how this is this amplifier, curiosity plus AI? You keep the curiosity. AI is the amplifier. And number 5 is emotional intelligence. You know, I shared some of that as being a leader. AI can analyze sentiment, but it can't connect with the human heart. EQ is what keeps you irreplaceable in business and sales and leadership and in relationship. The future belongs to people who can merge AI efficiently with human empathy. So just think about that. If we can meet people where they are, if we can understand how to use AI to compound the human emotion, to compound connection, to compound capabilities, to compound our own style, to compound our own values, then I believe AI could actually multiply our humanness even more. People are afraid it's going to take away our creativity because it's going to think for us. No, I want it to think for me in the ways that I shouldn't be spending my time, so I could spend all my time in understanding humans, all my time in creativity, all my time in innovation, all my time in breakthroughs. And I want everybody on my team to experience that same thing. I don't want my team to be afraid of this. I want them to use AI to compound what makes them who they are. And if we do that, there's no way anyone is going to replace you. In fact, no one will keep up with you.